Yesterday we were looking at something, IT can beauty. I don't get it. Okay. So this is our Power BI. And so if you had that file that we had a look at yesterday, then you could just come to file and maybe open it somewhere. If you know where you stored it, you can come and maybe click here and open or maybe recent and try to look at where you had the data. Uh, Otherwise, like maybe for me, I'd prefer maybe I use a new one today because that is something that we talked about yesterday. I don't know whether I saved that file and where I did save it, but we can just maybe open this new one. Unless I look for it and Power BI IT. Oh, so we have it here, BI Elite on 22nd. There is. So it's as it is loading. Let me just even end this other one that was popping up. Okay, sorry. So you can open and load the data. And load the data that I sent today. We want to use it to practice on analytics, so maybe building dashboards. So this is taking some few minutes here and there. I don't know. Okay. Okay, here it is. So yesterday we had some data sets here, but I don't think we want to use them today. Or you can just download a new one, or upload those new data sets. This looks like might give us some problem. I don't know if we'll work with it. Yeah, but if we decide to delete this data, I can just maybe right click and click on delete from model. So if there's a data set that maybe you uploaded and you don't really need it, so you can delete it from the model. Alright. So once you click on that, it should be removing it. So are you sure you want to delete? Yeah, and that is something that is you delete it permanently from the module that you're working with. Mm, Similar to maybe, let me try marking them. Yeah, it's not. So you just go one by one and delete from model. We'll talk about refreshing data once we get to maybe the next week. I'll remember to say something about it. I'll just show you an instance where you can be refreshing data. So I'm deleting this because I want a new. I don't want to use these data sets that we worked with yesterday. So for me to just download that to upload that previous data that I sent. So with that, it's BI practice data and open. Let me know if you've successfully uploaded that. So the first thing you go to, of course, you open up this, and then click on sheet one, and then you can click on transform data. Though that data of mine is it's clean. but you click on transform data first. Yeah, you can see some things have happened there, promoted headers and the likes. So you can scroll through and see if one of your columns is not really green. So if it is a different color, then there's some issue. So for example, you can see maybe this one, outlet note. It is if you hover around, you can see that there is 167 valid, 0 error, and then 833 are empty. So that is an issue, but it won't really affect us. So that's why. So you can see there are so many nulls here. So that is why here null is where completely there is no value, but 0 is not a null. So you can click, hover around, and you can see that only 167 rows has some entries. Yeah, so that is part of you looking through and even going again to these other sides. You can see maybe under contact phone. Contact phone is telling you 1000 empty. So it is 100% empty. So that is why hakuna anything green there. You go next to maybe match comment. That is merchant as comment. I'll give you a brief of what this data is. And then geo level and everything. Longitude is also has some 65 empty, similar to latitude. Column 9 the same, and all those other columns that are empty. Okay, so once maybe we are all, very confident with our data, just click on close and apply. And then it will be loading. I'll give it some few minutes. You can see maybe sheet 1 loading data to model. I told you can even change the name of that sheet. So you just go to edit query, and then you have that place to change. Yeah, so is anybody having a challenge with that? So you can see that this is written sheet 1. So we could have changed it by just going here and then edit query, and then you will find a place to it. Or even you can even rename it at this point, right? You can rename it and then say maybe BI Elites. BI Elites, right? So you can rename it there. Or you can edit query and go and rename it huko kwa sheets huko. So that is two options that you have in terms of renaming your. Have we successfully loaded it? Karen?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Okay. I believe everybody else. James, Winnie, you loaded, eh? Okay, Winnie. Okay, I'm seeing Winnie. So, now, if you open it in Excel, sorry, this is not the one you're supposed to be seeing. Okay. So I was showing you the information that you need not to. So BI practice data. So this is the data. Of course, it's a real data. I only changed the things like names. You can see James Kinyanjui there. You can see Suleiman Dadi. There's Karen. There's somebody else. Apart from Suleiman, you'll find other people. Winnie Ambogo is there. Yeah. So change that, and also came here and changed the phone number. So this is 0700 up to the end, and also changed what? I think that is the only thing that I changed. But this is like a sales data for hair products. You can see there is some shampoo, there's relaxer, there is hair food. protein treatment 400 grams. There's leave-in cream. There's Cal Activator. Relaxer Super, that is 2 kg. There's bergamot oil, right? There is a relaxer blowout, leave-in spray. Uh, Winnie, are you aware of these products?
Of course, yes.
So which one have you ever had, and which one have you haven't had? Sorry,
I think I've tried everything there.
even including anti-dandruff, 100 grams.
Next, yes.
Okay, yeah. So these are hair products. You'll even see some Ashanti Q. But yeah, so this is like a sales data set for different SKUs of for different. So SKU, this one is what we call shopkeeping unit. Yeah. So for shampoo, somebody is storing shampoo Fruity 240 ml. Somebody will find storing shampoo Fruity 1 liters, shampoo Golden. Yeah. So the SKU here is the shopkeeping or maybe storekeeping unit. Some people call it storekeeping, some people call it shopkeeping unit. Uh, there's also something here that I want us to check. Um, there is SKU and code, and then there is code and SKU. There is a category. I want you to have a look at category level 4. There is Miadi. So there are these products like shampoo, relaxer, leave-in, relaxer, whatever. They are part of a broader category of Miadi. So if you click on this filter here, you see that we have Ashanti Q and we have Miadi. So there are different SKUs of Miadi and there are different SKUs of Ashanti Q. Let's do a filter of Ashanti Q. If you filter Ashanti Q, you can see maybe here under SKU, you can see Ashanti Q Sea Butter, Ashanti Q Moisture, Ashanti Q Strengthening, Scalp Soothing Hair. There's also Finishing Serum, Sea Butter. I mean, there are those different kinds of SKUs of Ashanti Q. So that is because I filtered out Ashanti Q here. That is category level number 4. What I'm doing is just to help you understand the data you are working with, because before you do any analysis or maybe you start building a report, you have to know, like, what am I working with, right? And what am I going to be building out of it? There's also this one, category level 5, Carl's Ashanti, Carl's Gel. I mean, you'll think of it this way. I have Kenya. After Kenya, maybe I have provinces. After provinces, no. First, let's start with, we have Africa. And then in Africa, we have different countries, right? So we go granularly again, past countries, we go to even maybe provinces within a country. After going from provinces within a country, we go to maybe capital cities of those. So we are coming from the top going down. So that is where we are starting here. Category level 4, we are starting from Africa, which is now maybe Ashanti Q and Miadi. From Miadi, we are going to the provinces, curls, conditioner, hair growth. From there, after going from the provinces, we go to maybe locations. So we have curling gel, and after this, then we go to now these storekeeping units or the shopkeeping units, the ones that you're talking about, Ashanti Q and the Sibata and the likes. Yeah. And then after that, there's also something here, uh, longitude and latitude. So in most cases, when you're doing even sales, you want to even map out the exact location of the outlet you are selling to. So that is where outlets and longitudes and latitude comes in, right? The type of outlet I'm selling to a cosmetic shop. I've sold to a wholesale. I've sold maybe to, let's just do a filter here. I've sold to a barber and salon. There's cosmetic shop. There's pharmacy. There's salon. There's supermarkets. There's wholesale. So, like, what is the outlet type that you're working with. If you come to the first one here, you will see we have outlets here. So there's Urembo Cosmetics. So Urembo Cosmetics is here, Urembo. So let's go to the last one and see if it's, so Urembo is a cosmetic shop, which you can now see there. So let me stop filtering this and put it this way. Yeah. So so apart from that, so you can see there's price. So price of shampoo Fruity 240 is 88.42. Relaxer 1 kg 518. Relaxer that is reg. I don't know what that reg means. Is 272.86. There's something I wanted to check here. So even an order has a reference number. There's reference numbers that is it a reference number of order or the date that it was placed? This looks like more of like order of the day that that order was placed. I'm trying to just confirm it. Yeah, but then there's a reference number for a certain order that is there. Okay. So if you see maybe here, no quantity was sold for most of these things. So let me see. If you come to this place, protein treatment, the price is 200, 12 quantities were sold, then the total is 12 times 200, which is 2,400. So subtotal is telling you like price times order quantity. So the total sales that was made during that day. So that is something. So even if you want to look at maybe the total sales, then you're going to be using this subtotal. So after doing all those multiplications, and then you come and maybe sum it here. But you want to do that in Power BI, not in Excel. Are we together with that? Are we on the same page? I'm seeing a thumbs up from Karen. How about Ian?
Yeah, I'm okay, but I also have a question.
Yes.
For me, Excel, I don't have a verified product activation key, whatever they mean.
Yeah.
So I can't use most features for Excel.
But you can
So
okay. You can use this
I
one
cannot.
for Power BI.
That's even better. Okay, yeah.
You go to this place here,
It's good.
and then there is even that filter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you if you click on that button, you can see maybe things there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you click on this one for team, you can see different teams there. So I also maybe I did not mention. So team is maybe the region that you are selling to. You can see Central and South Rift, and then you can see maybe other regions like Coast, other regions like Lake and Western. There's also Central and South Rift, and then there's also other regions like Nairobi. Yeah, those are just multiple regions there. James, are we together? James. Yeah, James.
Yes, we're good. We're good.
Okay. So I think we can go and start asking ourselves how to do analysis. We don't call it analysis now. This time we say how we can build a report. Kindly mute your microphone, Ian. Okay. So the first things that you also even want to have a look at before like the first thing you have to do is to even check like the page layout or set up the page for your Canva. So for you to do that, you go to this place, right? And then go to page information. So you can go to page information, Canva settings, go to canvas background, go to wallpaper. Yeah, we'll be able to see those things. So let me know if you're able to access that, and just tell us what you can see when you click the drop downs. Starting by Ian. Ian, give us a description for the page information.
Okay. It gives like a little box for the name, then page one. And it also gives an option for allow users tooltip or allow Q&A. Then there's also a part for reset to default. Hello?
Is that all?
That's all I see, unless
Okay. Yeah. So that is it. So you can see maybe page information that is mostly talking to you about this page. You can see page one here. So you can decide and come here and rename the page here as maybe summary. And you can see the moment I start typing, it is renaming. Instead of going all that route, you can just right click and rename page. So it depends on what you want to achieve, right? But let's go back to it. So that one is done. Canvas setting. Canvas setting is mostly, you can see these dots. So that is what you call your Canva. The dots that you can see around there, that is your Canva. So right now you can see automatically it is 16 for the length and 9 for the width. Yeah. If you decide to click 4 to 3, so it is 4 for the length, 3 for the width. If you decide to have it in a letter form, you can see how your Canva is looking like. But of course, letter form doesn't really excite or give us some. If you do a tooltip there, you can see how it is looking like. And then now there is custom. So for the custom one, you're the one who decides how you want your page to look like. Yeah. So if you see by default, this tooltip that we had, it was 240 by 320. Let me get it back to 16 and 9 first. So 16 to 9, you can see there is 720 now, 1280. So page setting now depends just by you, I mean. But for me, I always go custom, and here I always have it at 800. But sometimes I play around with it. Sometimes I have it as 800 here, sometimes it is 1000. So that is 800. And then this other one, I have it at 1500. So you can see maybe how it is this way. So if I write 1, of course the size inaongezeka 15, inaongezeka 150. So in most cases I have it as this, or I have it at 1400. So 1400, you can see I'm able to see everything. If I write 2000, I'll not be able to see some parts. And so when I'm done building my report, I'll be scrolling around. If I scroll around, I'll be able to see maybe those are the settings. So this is 999. So let me have it at, let me say 1400. 1400. So that is that. So that is that for the canvas setting. So there is also a layout. So there is also vertical alignment. So you can decide to align it to the top, or you decide to align it to the middle. So if you align it to the middle, you can see that you're able to see even this last line, the first line, I mean, at the top there. If you put it here to top, now you cannot see that part. So alignment, it's for you to decide how you want it to be aligned. So let me say, so for me, I always have it at middle. I mean, you can play around with yours also. There's Canva background. You can see the color of the background here. It is white. If I decide to have it this way, you will see it more up. playing around when we have even other values. We have values. So there's also transparency, where you decide how you want the color to be, how transparent you want the color to be. So here you see it is at 90%. So you can see that color is grayed out a little bit. The more I drag this, the more the color becomes prevalent. So that's it. So let me maybe say this, but I normally have it at white. So white is really preferred by by many people, and many people here is Otieno and Boniface and Omondi. So the three people. So sometimes we want to have like a background image. Yeah, an image for your background. So the background image and wallpaper, I really, let me see. There's one that is always consistent all through the pages, but we'll get to see it. But there is not much different from this Canva background versus this wallpaper. So if you want to have an image as your background, so let me show you. Okay, I had already removed it, but I'll show you one. So if you want an image for your background, let me go to and pick maybe something like this. And so I have, you can see there's Bounty Analytica. Of course, right now these things like looking like ticks and build your visuals, it's just sitting on top of it. But when we start putting visuals, it is going to escape. Yeah. So here also you work with transparency. If I put it that way, then you can see that the color is really dominant. Yeah. But if I drag it around this way, nikiweka transparency at 100%, then it means our image is not being seen. But if I put it that way, so you also don't want your image to really be very bold, so that it is distracting somebody from 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 the intended purpose. Like, we weren't really interested in looking at the background image. We are interested in the visuals that you're building. So that is that. Let me give you an example. Uh, uh, no. Uh, let me just give you an example here. That is, I want one that doesn't have. No, that one has sales information. Okay, I'll give you share with you a screenshot of one. I don't want one that has sales information. Mm, let me check this one. It doesn't have anything about sales. But I think I removed the background. I'll share with you one section later. But we can even use this to build a report. So that is that is sorry, that is a background of how you can set up the background. The same thing you can do even with this wallpaper side. You also just go there and add a file and paste it. Filter pen, yeah, you have there the filter pen. Let me see the background for our filter pen. So this is setting up all these pages, even what you're seeing up here. The search box, if you want it there, you can. So header size, so the size of maybe so this is generally maybe the visuals that you're going to place on your page here. So it will come with a default size for even the headers of your visuals. Yeah, But this one we can do it practically when we have set up, or maybe we have put in a visual. That is when you will see the interactivity of the same. You can even see text and icons colors. By default, this will be the color of texts and icons. So if you have a logo of a company, and it is maybe blue and there's some part which is red, so you can maybe say that the headers have a certain color, or maybe just put it as the text and icons have that one of those colors. If it is blue and red, you can maybe pick a certain blue. But again, even colors of companies, it depends if you have the color codes. You can come here and write the exact code of the company. For example, if you write FF, it is completely white. There's also that one for black. I don't know, it's always 00. Yeah, completely black is 00. But completely white is it's FFF. There are logos that maybe have a color like I don't know, I'm just trying to guess something here. But if you have the exact color of the exact color code, you can come and paste it here, and then you find uh, you find that color that you're looking for. I don't know whether I have one for bounty here. I don't remember the color code, so that you know how to type it. Let me just see if I have it. I think I wrote it somewhere when I was working on Canva. Yeah, maybe for bounty, one of the color codes that we have is that deep orange is always FFA13F. It's always there are this orange. If you look at on top of Bounty Analytica logo, or maybe data is the new oil, there's that data is the new oil. That color, the code is this. So you can see the colors changed down here. There's also one for the deep blue one that we use is 04186A. Yeah, so you can see it has changed to deep blue, very deep. So that is something that is present even in maybe Bounty Analytica website. You will find this color, those two colors. Before now, we go to shades of blue. Yeah, and just maintaining some sort of consistency. Anyway, that is that. Mhm. Input box color. Yeah, these things we'll have a look at them again when we have built a visual, so that you just see it. Background color of every visual that you're going to have, by default it is going to be white. By default it is going to be white. Yeah. But if you put transparency to this, then it means you won't see that background. Anyway, that is too much of ranting. Unless now we start maybe building a visual. So you can see if I click on this, the page is moving. Let me see if I also, yeah, so fit to page, yeah, fit to width. So you can say fit to page or fit to width, but let's use fit to page. Any question in that intro about just setting up your workspace? Any question? No question. That means we move. Okay. So we talked about something yesterday. So our data is called BI Elites. So can you insert a text? Insert a text and then write the heading of your analysis. For me, in my reports, I don't write it. I use the company's logo as, but right now we don't have maybe a company logo. Let me disable this WhatsApp. It's making noise. Sorry. It's connected to the PC, and now it's becoming destructive. So that is almost done. Um, hmm. Okay, any question on that? On that? Ian, are we together? Welcome, Sharon. Also, Sharon Moike.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Linked device. Okay, now we're good. So the first thing that I was saying is now you come and maybe use this text box and insert something, a text here, and then say maybe BI Elite analysis, BI Elite. So you maybe write it even BI Elite uh, dashboard. Okay, yeah. So BI sales report, BI sales report, or even add BI Elites sales report. So you can see that maybe in a size ndogo. So you can, I said yesterday that you can even change the font type. Maybe right here Calibri. You'll see it is changing here and there. You can write maybe so highlight your text and change it first. So Courier New, there is a font there you can use depending on what you want really. So or even Georgia, and then come on the sizing and then write there sales. If you want to make it bold, you can make it bold. Nobody is limiting you. But for me, I always prefer using a company's logo. If I'm doing any analysis for maybe it's a company, then I use the logo of that company. Yeah, you can play around with this color. You can play around with the colors so that you see what it is. So that is just a simple thing for you to do. Um, so we have our data set here. So what do you think is the first thing that we may want to show? Now this is you now thinking for me. So we have this data set. So what is one of the things that we may want to show? Just a random answer. What can do you think somebody might be interested in to see? Uh, what can somebody be interested to see in this first page? In this first page, now we are doing our analysis. Like, what do you want to tell somebody in this first page? Karen, go ahead. You have the data set. What can you?
The we'd want to showcase the team and the display name. Yeah.
And also, it doesn't have to be sequential. That we are starting analysis na na maybe hii team yenye tunaona hapa tunatoka hapo tunaenda display, we go there, we are going to visit date, no time, then tunaenda geolocation. I mean, right? So you just have to think maybe, okay, so this is like a sales report. Somebody might be interested to see like what is the total sales that we've made so far. Sindio? Is it true? The first thing in a sales report like that a person might be interested in is the numbers, right? So we want to see like what is the sales that I've made. Are we together, Karen?
Yes.
Yeah. So mtu atakuwa interested first in so we are talking about sales. The first thing ni let me see the numbers that we have. Any other thing that we can show for page number 1, James?
Okay, let me just check at the data set.
Yeah, we did a tour of the data set. Yeah.
I think I was not keen
Sorry?
on that. Let me check. Let me check the data set.
Winnie, fly away. Winnie Ambogo.
I'm actually just following. Yeah.
Why? Where is your laptop?
Okay. I'm actually not feeling too good. I'm on medication.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, ni kujikaza. You could have just this general with the data that we had. If you're able to think of something, let us know. Yeah. Let's go to who? Ian.
I don't know the specific name for this, but it's the. I don't have that thing. Okay, wait. Let me open Excel. It will be easy if I use Excel.
No, we need to use Power BI.
Yeah, but to see what type of column it is, I don't know what it is. But it's a part that has cosmetics shop, wholesale, or supermarket thing.
Outlets. This one is here. This outlet type.
Yes, outlet type. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So we may want to show them the outlet types, and yeah, right? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So we wanted to show sales. Now before that, if I click on subtotal, because subtotal is the one that is giving us the total values, and yeah. Let's see. Let me see what its value is. I know it's taking time. So the sum of subtotal. So you can see what it is telling us here. If we use that subtotal, right? It's not giving us a value. Why do you think it is not giving us a value? So that is where now something like DAX expression comes in. So we want to write a measure that is going to calculate the total sales that we've made so far. And I think I showed you that yesterday. It's just like a multiplication. Yeah. It's a multiplication that you can do. So let me delete this, remove this one first, and then go to our data. So BI elites. So if I right click this, so I can create a measure but then store it inside here, but that is going to be confusing. I'll tell you why. As a good practice when doing analysis in Power BI, there are some expressions that you are going to be writing that is going to calculate for you something. So for example, right now we want to know what the total sales is. Yeah, we want to know the total sales as a value. If I use that subtotal, you can see that it is not giving us a value. So I need to write an expression that is going to give me a value. So that expression, if I store it inside this BI elites, And sometimes I want to use it repeatedly over and over. So every time I come and open BI Elites, I want to look for that measure every time nakuja, like it might really be tiresome. So the good practice is always to come and right click this and create. Okay, if you write here new measure, if you write here new measure, you'll be able to see what is happening. It is going to store it inside inside Power BI, inside BI Elite. Let's see. It's loading. And then I'll show you, instead of using that new measure, you use something else. It's working on it. I don't know why it's taking time. Let's just wait. Okay, yeah, you can see that it has opened. So when I write here measure to create for us total sales, so total sales, and then it is equaling to, so we want table ya BI, yeah, what is the name? BI Elites. Like, it's really going to be problematic when we write it inside this, and that's why it's not even picking the formula automatically, even writing it inside here. I always prefer that you go by entering data. Let me cancel this. I'll show you the next one, how it is going to pick automatically. Yeah, so if you come here to home, there's something here, enter data. So let's enter data here and call this thing, call it a measures table, or measures table. So measures table. So just leave it the way it is here as a column. Just leave that way. So it will think that it is a table we are creating. Yeah, it's a new table we are creating, but this table we are just creating for it to hold for us the measures, all the measures that we are going to calculate. Then click here load. So once it is loaded, you can see now we have a measures table here. So instead of creating that measures inside Power BI, I want to create it inside measures table. So once I've created one of the measures, I will come and delete this column 1. So because we don't want any table here, we just want something to store for us measures. So where I'm saying we don't want tables, a table has a column, but this measures table will not have a column. It is not going to have a column. It is not going to have things like this. It is just going to have maybe, it is just going to store for us some calculations, or maybe some expressions. So you come here and right click, and now here is where now we create the new measure. So the new measure is, it's loading. Yeah. So now we have the measures here. Now let's call this thing total sales. I needed to show you first the column that you're going to use. Let me show you it in Excel here. So we are going to use price and quantity. So we are going to tell it the total sales is equaling to sum of price times quantity, or it is sum of subtotal. Let's sum subtotal and see if it is going to work. So sum in bracket BI, you can see it has started picking it automatically. So instead of typing maybe that hyphen, is it ka hyphen, or yeah, not really hyphen, but that apostrophe, and then you reference this table, you can just go direct to sum of subtotal. So or you just write BI elites, and then it is going to bring for you, and then you scroll down and get subtotal. So subtotal. And then once you are done with this, you close the bracket and click on enter. Let's see if it is going to make sense, or we need to go and multiply. Let me see. Let me remove this from delete from model. So this is a DAX expression. So right now, if I pull this data, if I pull this total sales, if I just click on it, okay, seems okay, it's not making sense. Let me write a different expression, unless I'm picking the wrong visual, but the visual should be a card. Yeah, okay, now it's working. So I was picking a wrong visual, which I think is the same thing that happened for us even with this BI elites, because it could have worked. I wondered why. Let me see if we click on this. It should have worked for us perfectly well. If you check this and click on cut, it was supposed to be working. But I mean, that has also told you how to even write a DAX expression. Or creating your measures. So every expression that you are going to write. So for example, I want to know the total number of outlets that we are working with. There's this thing called outlets here. We also want to write an expression to count for us outlets. There's outlets here. So I want it to count for us the distinct outlets so that it doesn't count Joshua 1, Joshua 2, Joshua. So if it finds Joshua Training, that is one outlet. If it finds anything Urembo Cosmetics, that is outlet number 2. See at inahesabu 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So that is also an expression that you can come and write here. So you don't click this to create a new measure, but you click on the table here and create a new measure. And let's call that measure total outlets, so that we also see the total number of outlets that we are working with. Let me create that one, and then I ask a question. I hope you are also following through. And I'll show you, we can't count strings. We can't count the strings, and that's why you want to create a measure that is going to be able to count. Like if you bring in that outlet and paste it here, haitaileta it in terms of numbers. Let's see here. Ama ikiileta in terms of numbers, it won't count it distinctly. But let's check that first. So we count total outlets, and the formula that we use here, let me change this to total. The formula that we are going to use here is called distinct count. So distinct count, that is the explanation I was giving you. So count only distinct outlets. So let's go and find BI, or you can even just type outlets, and then you can see if you type O, it brings you outlet, and then you enter, and then press enter. You can press enter or click this tick. So let's see what is happening. You can also see that I named my outlet Vibaya, yani that name total, this total. Yeah, I named it the correct way, but it's working. Let me edit it and say it is total outlets. Okay. Now you can see, you can even change the names here. Home table, you can check where the home table is. You can change the format from maybe whole number to percentage, if that is something that you wanted. And so, yeah. It's loading, yeah. So you can see now we have the total outlets here. Yeah, so you can see now a measure here. But let me see. If we pull in that outlet column, there's this outlet. Just I'm hearing there's a hand that is up, but let me just pull this first. And so you see, you cannot show it in table in numbers form. So outlet will always be in terms of itakuletea in as a list kind of. But now we want to count the number of outlets that we are working with, and so that is why I was going out and creating a measure for outlet. I think maybe something might have confused that a little bit, and so I welcome that question.
Okay. First of all, mine for total sales has refused to run, and I'm not sure why. But the second question was asking for clarification on why we use distinct count when we're trying to sum the outlets.
Okay, somebody to give an explanation of the same. So Karen is asking why. Karen is asking why we are using distinct count. Somebody to answer that.
Can I try?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. In some rows, there are some what's it called? Some rows that have the same things, like what we saw with that guy's name, John Training. So there's a lot of John Training, but you need the subtotal for every, Joshua Training. Thank you. It's Joshua Training. So Joshua Training, we're trying to distinguish between the ones from like Joshua Training, the other ones. So it doesn't bring for every individual one for Joshua Training, but it brings like a sub-collective one, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
any other explanation? You can use. Okay, take the world.
Okay, the reason we are using distinct is just like for the Joshua Training, we just need to know the like instead of like choosing every Joshua Training, we just pick a distinct Joshua, like one Joshua in each and every like you notice that Joshua Training is like repeating itself so much. So we just need a distinct Joshua. So that now instead of now counting the number of Joshuas maybe that we have in that outlet. I don't know if it makes sense.
Karen, are you answered?
I've not understood how using distinct is going to like the way they're explaining for Joshua Training. I've not understood like how is it going to only select the specific one, and how will it know you want Joshua Training and not another one?
Okay, so what is happening is this. See, we wanted to count like the total number of outlets that we are working with, right? So we want to know like the total number of outlets that are present in this data, sindio?
Mm-hmm.
But so we can count it and find that, let me just roll it down, or instead of rolling it, okay. So up to mali nimefika, you can see that we have 725, sorry. So we can say that we have 725 outlets, sindio?
Yeah.
But is that true?
No, not in total.
It is not true because ukiangalia hapa even Vumilia Cosmetics ziko Vumilia ngapi? Current song, so ziko Vumilia ngapi? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
So if we count 7, ati tuko na 7 outlets, like we have 7 of the same thing. It's like working with duplicates. So when you find a group of duplicates, you delete the others, you remain with one valid one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is what you're trying to also do here. Like we have so many linders, but that is just one Linda outlet. So Linda is
Mhm.
appearing many times because probably Linda buy so many things, right? It's not
Yeah.
as if you took it to Linda I found in somewhere else, Linda found somewhere. It's the same Linda. So we want it to count distinctly single outlets. You get what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, I've understood.
Yeah. So that is the essence of us using the distinct count. So distinct count, like find a group of Joshua trainings, but pick for us only one Joshua training. Because like all those Joshua trainings, it's the same thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So that is why we used this distinct count. But if we used count, okay, so there is count, then there is distinct count. Distinct count. So count tukitumia it will hesabu Joshua trainings, hizi Joshua trainings zote. So it will find it to be 18, right? But if we use distinct count, it will find it to be 1. So that is why we are using distinct count. You can use count, but count won't really make sense. It makes sense somewhere else, but not in this one that we are talking about. So that is why you go here and create a measure to count for you the the total outlets. Similarly, you may even want to know how many. So this display name you can rename it to sales representative. So seme James ndo anauza kwa hii Central and South Rift. Then you have Karen Songe, you are focused in selling in the Lake and Western region. Suleiman Dadi is present in Nairobi. And we have somebody else present somewhere. Like Coast, we have Winnie Ambogo is in the Coast. And then Central and South Rift, of course, there was James. I don't know if we have any other area that is not covered here. But yeah, so sometimes you may want to count like how many sales representatives do I have? So in that case, you also use distinct count, right? Instead of using count, use distinct count so that it counts only one James Kinyanjui and goes ahead and counts only one Winnie Ambogo, one Karen. You may find that you have sales reps. Like there's a project I'm doing where the sales representatives are they are 70, about 70 or 69. Yeah. So you may want to count the exact number of people and then put it there for the first page, like wakubwa waone tuko na watu ngapi wanafanya kwa ground. 69. So there is where like another DAX expression like total sales comes in, right? Yeah, so that's it. So here is measures table, and then now we have total sales. You can see maybe Power BI yet imekuwa grayed out at some point because this card, it has a background and the background is white. Unless we come and anyway, I'll tell you how to edit a card. Now this one, you can even resize it and have it there and then place it maybe at the corner here. So total sales zetu is 1.31 million. Now let's go to total outlets. I can pull these total outlets. So if you look at it, you can see that imepick clustered column chart. Let me gray it out. Acha nitoe hii. Remove. Instead of coming to pick here, you may come to your visuals here, the part written build visuals, and pick the card first. So maybe let me say I want to pick this. I want to pick this card. Hii card ndo inaonyeshana the values. So I want this card to be picked. And then after doing that, um, There is somewhere here. There is somewhere here. There is somewhere here. There is somewhere here. I don't know why it's not showing me, but there's part that is always um hmm, yeah. Power BI updated how it looks like, because previously you were able to click. There's something you're able to click here and add data directly. I don't know whether it's this card. Let me check if it's the same thing for maybe something like this. Yeah, so it changed. There's previously how you could just click somewhere here and add data direct. And even this part of visualization, it was not sitting here. It was mostly on top here. But yeah, what I wanted to show you is not there. But let's pick on this card. What I was saying is, instead of clicking directly here, if you check this box, check it right now, you will see that automatically it picks maybe a certain card. But maybe you don't want it to do that. You come here and maybe change the card that you wanted. Or the first thing you do is first pick maybe that card. After picking the card, then come and even drag the drag the drag the variable that you want to use. So that's let me remove that. So we have that our total outlets are 558. So let's resize it and maybe place it somewhere here. So once you try to you can see there's some red line telling us that we are on the edge of the other card, the one for total sales. If you push it, then it means you're going to close it up. So once I push it up to there, I can see some red boundary separating 558 and 131. So that is where you are ending. You put it there. I mean, that is simple thing. Now suppose you want to show the names of our sales representatives, the names of our sales rep. So our sales rep tulikuwa tunaonyesha na something that is called the display name. So the first ones that we will do today are just simple ones, and then we'll see how to edit them. So there's display name. This one written display name. So let us pull it. So you can also even drag it and put it here. Yeah. So once I drag it and place it there, you can see it has picked it automatically. Imeiweka as a table, but I don't want it as a table. I don't want to see it as a table. I want to see it as a slicer. So what a slicer does, anyway, instead of explaining, I'll just do it and you see. Yeah, now you have it as a slicer. Sorry. So if I, as a slicer, when it is as a slicer and I click on maybe Ian Kibet, you can see whatever Ian Kibet has done is appearing here. So Kibet has sold to 5 outlets. The total sales wenye amemake ni 505.87 thousand. If I click on James Kinyanjui, James has worked on 63 outlets, but 213.04. So James is doing a lot of work, but the output is considerably low. So okay, there's somebody doing more. So Karen Songe is doing 204 outlets, but then akona 409. So Ian is a perfect definition of working smart. 5 outlets peke yake ishaleta 545. Let's see what Winnie has. Winnie is doing 102 and 96.64. So when I click on Suleiman Daddy, 187 outlets and 85.04. So this is the work of a slicer. You can see that as the work of a slicer. So if you want to see multiple, you just click on control and then select the ones that you want to see. So yeah, so you've shown all of them. Okay. So maybe that is a slicer for the display name. I'll show you where to place them. Let's just maybe first build them and place them there. We may also even want to see like how are our cells performing by region. So there again, we build a slicer for region, right? So we can build a slicer for region and then pick this one. The slicer is here. And then, so once we do that, we just come and pick where's our region. What is, so it is shown by maybe team. So let's go to team. Let's go to team. Yeah, so team, you can also see how team is. So central. So of course team is equivalent to just maybe James Kinyanjui alikuwa ni mtu wa Central and South Rift. So unaona if you highlight Central and South Rift, you know definitely James Kinyanjui is popping up. If you highlight Central, you know Ian Kibet. So there's Central and South Rift and then there's Central, okay. Then there's Nairobi, Lake, and the likes. So that is team. Another slicer that is always very key is a date slicer, because you want to see your cells in a certain period of time. So let's pull in maybe a slicer again. So let's pull in this slicer and look for date. So visit date. There is this visit date, no time, the date that it was visited, and then we pull it in and put it there. So you can see now we have our date starting 15th. So if I want to see how many sales did I make on maybe April 15th. So I come here and pick come here and click 15th, April 15th, and then I pick here again 15th. And then you can see that total sales that were done on April 15th were 48,059K, 48.59K, sorry. And then that sales was done on 33 outlets. If I want for a certain period, maybe I want between on a certain weekend, I don't know, we cannot maybe identify weekend here, but let me say weekend of Saturday 20th na Sunday 21st. So let's put Saturday. So you start with the hiyo ya kubwa, which is 21st, and then you go back to this one and pick 20th. So that weekend we did only 6.35K. So you can maybe argue out, hey, are we doing much on weekend really? And then that's it. So let me get it back to full. Are we full? Yeah. Now we're okay. So you can resize this one and then put it there. Before I proceed, any question?
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you build the measures again? Oh, yeah, the mini measures for all of this, because I'm trying it out as you're speaking and also taking notes, and
So
I'm encountering some errors.
measures for what? For this visit date?
Yes, for like visit date,
This
the
is
way
not
you've
a
done the check boxes.
This one is not a measure. This is a variable that is present in BI Elites. See, we had this.
I can see.
So we had this one.
Yes.
You just open it up, and then after that, pick the card that you want to use. Maybe I want to show what? Maybe I want to show there is this. Let me use. let me use category level 4. So which contains Miadi, because I want to also filter out and see how our cells are performing, Ashanti Q versus Miadi. So let me go. I don't know whether by this time Miadi was part of this data, but let us just try it out. Yeah. So what I was telling you is we had this data, right? Ian.
Yes, I am listening. I'm trying to. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe I pick a card like I want this slicer. So I may just maybe click it. Sorry. Yeah. So I've clicked it. So once it is highlighted, you can see that maybe it's in box. There are some nodes there. I come and pick. Was it level 4? Geo level 4.
4. Yeah.
Geo level 4. So I click level 4. So you can see there is Ashanti Q. Let me check Miadi. Oh, okay, Ashanti Q was there. So yeah, that is how you do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Iko sawa?
And yeah, and what about the one for sum and distinct count, as you were slightly talking about them earlier?
So that one you hadn't built it while I was doing it also.
Yeah, you were kind of too fast for me. I'm
Okay.
sorry, but yeah.
Okay. So what you do is you go here.
Mhm.
So when you are on this measures table, right?
Yes.
You click on these 3 dots
Mhm.
and then click on new measure.
Okay.
Go to new measure.
Mhm. Okay. Yes.
Just
Oh, sorry.
so because again I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with this as part of the assignment, that you go and build a report with this data set and come up with various tables, various pages. Page number 1 summary, page number 2 you go to something else. I just want to see how analytical you could be. But first I need to show you that is I need to show you how to edit or maybe make your names colorful and a little bit. I'll just do it maybe 1 or 2. Yeah.
Mhm.
So instead of writing as measure, then it is we wanted to maybe see total outlets. So maybe let me rename it to outlets. And what you are doing here was a distinct count. Is a distinct count. So the moment you start typing, you can see that distinct count is appearing. So you come and highlight it. So inakuletea. So what do you want to distinctly count?
Then-
Maybe instead of outlets, let me rename it to sales reps. So you just write, maybe if you are using outlets, just use outlets, but maybe I want to count the sales reps that we have. So distinct count. Then I want it to count for me display name ndo itaniletea. So display name. And then once I am here, close the bracket. Are we together up to there here?
Yeah.
So once you are done, you can click on enter on your keyboard, or you can click on this commit. So for those who have interacted with Git and GitHub, there's the commit functionality in the push and push and commit and the likes. So you can click on that, and then it is working. Yeah, so I think it's still working. Yeah, so it is already done. So if I come here and click on this sales rep, You can see here, but I can change it. So it has picked this one by default, but I want it to pick the card. Sales rep 5. There. So it is telling me that we have a total of 5 sales reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Distinct count. Let me try. Let me try another measure here, and then write. Let me write reps, and try another one. I want to use count. Let me see count. What value it will bring for us. These are just simple DAX expressions. It gets complex somewhere else. Winnie, are we together?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Yeah, today my laptop seems to be slow. I need to even clear out some things maybe. So I wanted this to be seen by Karen, but I see she just dropped out right now. I don't know, maybe it's internet. But let's say sales or maybe reps, and then I say count. Let's say count, and then we say display. And then just see what is there. It should be working. Yeah, it's already done. So if I click this, let me see if you change it to card. Yeah. So Karen was not here. So if we used count, then it counts for us. It tells us that we have 3,727 sales representatives, which is really a wrong value. Yeah, but we only have 5 representatives. That explains it more. Sharon, are we together?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, that explains more in terms of why we should not use why we are using distinct count. So distinct count imetupea 5. Count yenyewe it has given us 3,727, which is the wrong one. Okay, so I can even delete this and just remove it. Now, something else is you can show even you can even use a map. So you can see here we have a map, and I can maybe elongate it. So which variables are we going to use for this map? What are the variables we are going to use for the map? Mr. James, tutumie variable gani for the map? Yes.
Sorry. What are you asking?
So we want to build something for the map. So which variables do we use for the map?
Variables. I think there is somewhere here. I saw what this is the geolocation. Geolocation.
So the geolocation. Let's
There
see.
is something to do with geolocation. The first, is it the first?
This one.
No, yeah.
So let's.
And I think,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
So you say this is
I
what you
think,
use?
yeah.
Okay.
That's
How
what,
about Ian? Wewe tutumie gani?
I also feel like that would be
That is, and anyway, I know the title confused you guys, but there's something here: longitude and latitude. That is what you use for the map. So you can see here location, add data field. So there is here. You can even see this place. We have a place for longitude. We have a place for latitude. So you can resize this and then go to this, and then we have latitude is here. We can pull it for this place. Longitude is here. We can add it here. I know there might be some error that you people are getting that map cannot display. Anybody getting that error? Are you able to see your map this way? James, is yours display?
Just a minute. I think my machine is a bit slow.
Okay. Winnie, yours is working. How about yours, Ian?
I'm trying to figure it out. Give me some time.
Okay, to figure out what to use.
For me, it's written as columns, so I'm trying to
No,
look for them specifically. But I
yes.
got them. Yeah.
You go here, there's latitude and then there's longitude. Leave alone these columns. These ones were empty. They were supposed to have data, but they were empty. Yeah.
Hmm.
Is it working?
No,
What is it doing
it's not allowing me to pick any of them to put as a variable.
here? Let me. Can you present?
That'd be easier. Okay. So can you see?
Uh-huh.
So now when I want to pick any of them, it's all as columns.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Let me see. Scroll up to down. Okay.
It's I've been doing this for the rest of the
What what
lesson.
what did you? I think
I did.
go
Yeah.
to. Mhm. Okay, can you yeah, close it, close them. Yeah. So can you click on the three dots on, yeah, go to edit query.
Mm-hmm.
So can you click on that corner?
Which corner?
Yeah, this, you see this one that looks like a table. No, go to column one. Next to
Uh-huh.
column, no, next to column one on the other side. No, no, wait, not that side.
This
Yeah,
side.
here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
Now,
use first.
yeah, use first row as headers.
Oh. Oh.
So
It is that
close and
way.
apply. Click on close and apply.
I've been doing this wrong the whole time. Uh, Beautiful. Okay. I
Yeah.
see my miss.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma. Yeah. So that's it. So can you now try to build that report and see? Is it working?
No, I can't pick any of them, latitude or longitude. I can
Why?
only drag them. It seems like I can only drag them to the report view, but I
No,
can't really pick.
we are not dragging to the. Okay, let me redo this again.
Okay, thank
I
you.
remove. So once let's pick the map, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So I can just resize this so that it looks a little bit better. Mm.
Oh, I see it now.
So, but again, even you don't have to do that, yeah. The moment I selected the map, even the way it was that way, you just come here. There's this part. Are you seeing this part?
Yes, I see it.
So there is something telling you location, add maybe data here. Legend, add data here. Then latitude, then there's longitude. So
Mm-hmm.
if I come to where's latitude, I can click latitude here and drag it around and bring latitude to. You can see now there's a plus button.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Then you drop latitude there. Then you go ahead and pick longitude. But even if you click it this way, so it is going to pick for you some of longitude, but that is not what you want. You can click here and they say don't summarize. Now that have you ever been able to do that?
You said something about summarizing. I put everything
It is telling you to
as
summarize.
no. I put the latitude and longitude, but it's still not showing.
Yeah, it's not showing. Come to this. Are you at this point?
Yes, I am.
It's telling you some of longitude.
I put it as longitude.
You put it as longitude.
Yeah,
So what is it telling you? Map and visual are not enabled.
yeah, and disabled. To enable them, go to File, Open Settings.
Yeah, go to File and then Options and Settings.
Oh, okay. I
Then
see.
Options, and then after that you are going to where should it be? Report settings. Is it report settings somewhere? There's. Oh, so what direction has it given you? There's somewhere that you need to click somewhere here. I don't know. It tells you to auto date and time for new files. I don't know whether it should be that, but it should be somewhere around there. So what has it told you to enable it? Go to
Go to File, Options and
sorry.
Settings. It's telling me to go to Options and Settings. Then you press Options. Then after Options, it's Global and then Security.
Okay. Let me see. So global should be so security here. So global is this, and then security, and then yeah, use map. So you check this one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Use
I see.
map and field map visuals. James is just working.
Yes.
Okay. So click on OK. Uh, so So once, of course, now you cannot see it very well, so you need to even drag around and enlarge your map. So you can see it fills that space. But you may not want it to fill even at the apogee, because you can, unless if you have some information that you need to put there, then you need to drag it. Yeah. So let's leave it at that, because I wanted to tell you now how to even edit these things. But that one I might need to, to do it tomorrow, because now your report doesn't really look. Let me say, rename this to outlet location. Outlet location. Location. Yeah, we can rename that page to outlet location. So you have summary here, but then you can see things are just placed neither here nor there. Yeah, neither here nor there. So your maps are still just, or not really your maps, but your visuals are just placed there. So go and try out more analysis on this data. So tomorrow I'll tell you how to customize your visuals. There's even renaming your page, these visuals, giving them maybe a different color, balancing out your page, because your page also needs to balance out. Yeah, I just wanted to show you with one here. Your page might also need to balance out, so that doesn't really look interesting, and so I'll need to tell you how to do the same so that you achieve something like this. So you can see, even maybe in my cases, I also have measures table for uh, for every project that you're working on. So you can check around and maybe see something like this. So I told you I prefer what logos of a company. So this one is a project for maybe Kappa. So you're not able to see any values that looks like sales. Yeah. Yeah, so something like this, I don't know, it's not showing us, but this is just a table, and this one should be a visual, and then this one you can see maybe your the way I've arranged them, date answered, you find it there. The logo is also there. If you go, so that is maintained in all the other pages that you might want to see. Uh, yeah, then it's my net. Are you able to hear me? Yeah, that's it.